Have you ever stared at that blank computer screen or piece of paper and wondered why something magical is not happening? Why you can't get started? Why you can't think of what words to use? Finally, you get that first sentence on the screen and then keep adding to the messages. Thoughts randomly come to your mind. If that's your writing process, you are almost guaranteed of committing most, if not all, of the common business writing errors. All of the common business writing errors are created by one major error: not following the correct writing process. You may think that an effective business writer spends the majority of his or her time writing. However, spending the most time in the writing stage causes business writing errors. Each of the following potential errors should be thought through before writing and then reanalyzed after the document is written. The message not being reader focused. In the planning stage, you want to get a clear idea of your reader. How does the reader benefits from the message? For example, is she receiving information that will help her to do a better job? Is he receiving promotional materials that will help him save money? Visualize that reader and his or her interest, wants, needs before beginning to draft your document. Giving not enough or too much to detail also needs to be analyzed before beginning that document. Once that intended reader is in mind, determine how much detail he needs. Has she been a part of a previous discussion about a new policy, or is he a client who has no knowledge about why a new policy is being implemented? The reader needs enough information to understand the message, but not so many details that she gets bogged down in minutiae. Also, not thinking about what language to use can result in using unclear and confusing words. Is your reader one who works in your department or company and will understand the company's specialized technical terms, or someone for whom more everyday language will have to be used? What words will have the same meaning to all readers? Your message also needs to be planned so you don't unintentionally offend the reader. What tone should be used? Harsh words result in a harsh tone, even though that might not be your intent. You have to give us specific information before we can give you a definite cost. The writer probably did not intend for that to sound harsh, but reader could certainly read it with a defensive attitude. Simply, the writing process includes pre-writing, writing, and revising or rewriting. Effective business writers revise their documents about 5 or 6 times before actually sending them, and spend the majority of the time planning and revising. If you follow the writing process correctly, you spend the least amount of time actually writing. Up to 80% of your time should be spent in the first and last stages, 40% planning and 40% revising. The common business writing mentality is to get that message composed and sent quickly. And we think that spending all that time planning and revising is too time consuming. But an ill-planned, hastily written message will probably either not get read at all or will be so confusing that much time consuming follow-up will be necessary. So, you are correct that following the writing process may slow you down at the beginning. But the good news is the more you follow it, the easier and faster it becomes. Think about this analogy. Trying to write without a plan or without reviewing what you wrote is like trying to build a house without a blueprint and without having a final inspection. No one would do that. So why do we try to write without knowing what direction to go, or what our purpose is, or how to arrange our message? So the most important common business writing error to avoid is trying to write without planning and sending the message without revising and rewriting. If you want a message that is reader focused, gives just the right amount of detail, uses clear and specific language, assures that your reader knows exactly what your message is about and has a positive tone that sounds human, then you need to think, plan, write, and revise in that order to help you avoid all those common errors. Are you like many people who wish you had listened more carefully in those English classes when whether to use I or me and the difference between ITS and IT apostrophe S? And even if you do want your writing to be correct grammatically, you think there are just too many rules to go back and learn now. However, to be a successful business writer, you have to know what is correct because your reader will know, will care, and will form an impression of you based on your correct or incorrect grammar use. So let's look at some of the common errors and how to avoid them. Pronouns. I is used as a subject of a sentence or after a linking verb such as is. Me is used as an object of a proposition or of action verb. So what does all that mean? Let's analyze the following example. Which pronoun I, me or myself is correct? John and I, me or myself would like to attend the conference. Give the report to Jeff and I, me or myself. The correct choices for those sentences are John and I would like to attend the conference. I is the subject of the sentence. Give the report to Jeff and me. Me is the object of the preposition to. Myself was not the correct choice for any of the example and is frequently misused. John and myself, even though I may have a formal sound, it is incorrect. The only two times correctly to use myself are as an intensifier, I myself would like to attend, or as a reflector, I bought that for myself, reflects or refers back to I. Let's look next at possessive case pronouns, specifically the ITS. As we look at these two examples, remember that the ITS shows possession and the IT apostrophe S is the contraction for it is. The committee will give its report. The news reporter said it's going to be packed crowd. The committee will give ITS report. The report belonging to the committee possession. The news reporter said IT apostrophe S going to be a packed crowd. Replace IT apostrophe S with it is. Why is ITS apostrophe not the correct choice in either? For a simple reason, there is no correct use of ITS apostrophe. So get that out of your choices forever. Both adjective and adverbs are used to describe, modify, or tell more about. The adverbs are the ones that are likely to be misused. For example, I feel badly that you did not win the award. Is that correct? Would you say I feel sadly or gladly or madly? Probably not. So why badly? I feel bad that you did not win the award is correct, not badly, but he played the game badly is correct. How do you know when to use each? It's all about that verb. Is the verb action or linking? Action verbs show actions. Played in the example, linking verbs are state of being verbs. I am, he is, they are, no action is being done. You can be happy or sad or glad, but there is no action. So the basic rule is that adverbs such as badly describe action verbs and adjective such as bad follow linking verbs. Good and well can also cause problems. I played the game well, an adverb that describes how I played the game. But he has a good score. Adjective that describes the score. Here is the one exception. When you are describing the condition of your health, well is correct. I don't feel well. Another potential problem area, words that sound identical or similar but are spelled differently cause wrong word choices. There, T-H-E-R-E and there, THEIR. There THERE means place. THEIR is the possessive case pronoun. Over there the place is their house belonging to them. Then and then. THEN is a time word. THAN is a comparison word. Her income is higher than mine. Comparing. Right then at that time I decided to ask for a raise. Affect and effect. AFFECT is the verb. EFFECT is the noun. We were affected, showing action by the effects, results of the new policy. Accept and accept. ACCEPT is the verb. EXCEPT is a preposition. Everyone accepted, agreed to the new rules except Frank. So next time you are not certain which pronoun to use or which similar sounding word is correct, just remember that someone will know, will notice and will form an impression of the writer. You want that impression to be a good one. So take the time to review or learn how to apply the rules. When we speak, we have tone and facial expressions. When we write, we have words on the page and the punctuational marks. The exclamation point is used, of course, to indicate a surprise element, and the question mark means a questions being asked. Those are easy, but what about the comma? The comma is the most used and the most abused punctuational mark. I am convinced that sometimes the only reason a comma is inserted is that it looked like a good place, or I breathe, or I have not used one for a while. However, that comma can completely change the meaning of your message. Look at this sentence. Does it need a comma? The red team predicted the blue team will win the tournament. Your correct answer should have been it depends. You can't know until you know the writer's intent. The sentence without the commas predicts the blue team will win. Let's add commas. The red team, comma, predicted the blue team will win the tournament. Now the red team is predicted to win. Complete opposite meaning. Not using a comma correctly can also result in sentence fragments and then run-on sentences. Here are a couple examples. Even though I have attended this organization's conference, period, I look forward to its new location. That first group of words is a sentence fragment. The corrected version needs a comma. Even though I have attended this organization's conference, comma, I look forward to its new location. Look at this comma. I have attended this organization's conference, comma, I look forward to its new location. This is a run-on sentence. The corrected version is I have attended this organization's conference, comma, and I look forward to its new location. Or I have attended this organization conference, semicolon, I look forward to its new location. The comma is not a strong enough mark to hold together two complete sentences. So a conjunction and but or for example must be added, or the semicolon, which is stronger, can be used. The colon, on the other hand, always means something follows, such as a list, and is never used correctly after a verb or a preposition. At the meeting, we will vote on colon, the healthcare addendum, the overtime policy, and the bicycle parking location. That is an incorrect use of the colon. This is also incorrect. The three uses to be discussed at the meeting are the healthcare addendum, the overtime policy, and the bicycle parking locations. In both examples, the colon should be deleted. The colon is used correctly in this sentence. The following three issues will be discussed at the meeting: colon, the healthcare addendum, the overtime policy, and the cycle parking locations. The location of the apostrophe can also be confusing. Look at these two sentences. Our guests' receipts are in the drawer. Our guests' receipts are in the drawer. When read aloud, both sound identical, but then when written have different meanings. In the first sentence, we have only one guest. Look at the word before the apostrophe. Guest, G-U-E-S-T. It is singular, so it's called singular possessive. But in the second example, the word before the apostrophe is plural, G-U-E-S-T-S. So the word is plural possessive, meaning more than one guest. And then the quotation marks. Of course, they are used to show that something is being directly quoted. But where should the comma, the period, the colon, and the semicolon be placed in relationship to the quotation marks? This one is easy. The period and the comma are always placed inside the quote marks. The colon and semicolon are always placed outside the quote marks. Quote, learn to anticipate our customers' wants and needs, comma, quote, is the quote on the front of our store. The quote on the front of our store is comma, quote, learn to anticipate our customers' wants and needs, period, quotation mark. See the placement of the comma and period. Our manager said, quote, learn to anticipate our customers' wants and needs, quote, semicolon, following that will help us succeed. That semicolon connecting to complete thoughts is placed outside the quote marks. The comma, the semicolon, the colon, and the apostrophe are punctuation marks that can be used correctly by remembering a few simple rules. Know the difference so that the punctuation helps you get your message to your reader.